It's done. The thing that was causing us to lose so much time, make us less happy, make us less focused, lower our attention spans, it's gone. The chains are broken. The weight on your shoulders is gone. The time is abundant. But guess what? That's the problem. That's the exact problem. Social media was taking up so much time. What could possibly replace it? Meditating's barely gonna chip away at it. Exercising may take 1 hour away at best, but not 6. And it's not like there's not enough things to fill up this time with, but almost that there's too many things to fill it with. It's just leaving us in analysis paralysis. So instead, your brain takes the easy route. Just like your brain took the easy route into social media, your brain takes the easy route into Netflix and YouTube. The Hulu, the NFL, the streaming network, anything. Your brain and your time goes towards that instead. This happens to literally everyone who gets rid of social media. It definitely happened to me. It's honestly still happening to me. You go from 6 hours a day on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok to 5 hours on YouTube and Netflix. I'm not gonna say it's not better, because it definitely is better. There'd be very few people that would put YouTube and TikTok on the same level. But it's not the change that we were hoping for. This is expected from what's gonna happen. Your brain just wants to do the next easiest thing to get the next easiest dopamine hit. The easiest dopamine hit was Snapchat, TikTok, and Instagram. The next easiest dopamine hit is gonna be YouTube and Netflix. Your brain is working against you, not with you. But first, let's acknowledge something that is 100% fact. You made the right decision. You made the right decision. Most people are not willing to get rid of social media, coming up with excuse after excuse after excuse. We used to do that too, but you have made the right decision in just deleting them and just getting them out of your life. You have removed your toxic ex. It is 100% commendable that you did not let peer pressure or your addiction get the best of you. Hey bro, stop glazing. I'm not glazing. I mean, to some people, it may seem like you're just deleting an app. I mean, when you boil it down, that's what you did. You just deleted an app. But you can also just stop drinking. You can just stop watching that. You can just stop smoking. You can just stop gambling. But the thing about addictions is that, like we all know, it's the psychological battles you have to go through day after day. That's the problem. My grandfather struggled with being sober, and he told me that the one thing that they always told him is that you don't just wake up one day and decide not to drink. Every day is a choice, and it resets every day. You did really good the past 3 years, the next day is still gonna be just as difficult. You still have to say no, even though you're still gonna get temptations. Okay, enough defending my people. What now? The whole point of the video. Come on, let's get to it. First, you should start appreciating the small things like meditation and going to the gym. Appreciate that you switch an hour of your time from social media to working out and meditating. Like, those are the two big pillars of self-improvement right there. Your physical improvement, your biggest pillar is working out. And for mental improvement, it's meditation. If you spend 5 hours a day on social media, but still do those two things consistently, you're already better than most. It's just this constant analytical mind, always analyzing how you can do better and how you can be more efficient. That's always stopped me from appreciating the journey that everyone has told me is so wonderful. So just spend a moment not thinking about how you can reach the top of this mountain, and instead spend a moment looking at how far you've hiked already. Okay, let's keep it 100. 5 hours on whatever apps you use is still a little too much. It's still not a great use of time. So instead, hear me out. Spend some of that time trying to find your passion and explore your interests and curiosities. That's the big part right there. I really don't enjoy passion culture at all. Most people don't have passions. And so to tell people to drop what they're doing, to go explore their passion, to find their passion, seems like sabotage to me. You should be lucky and be happy and be the exception if you go to college and find your passion. You shouldn't be going to college to major in philosophy. Seriously, you're gonna go to college for 4 to 8 years and then have to get a trade job because no one's gonna pay you for philosophy? Come on. But having a passion is really nice. I would say YouTube is my passion, and I don't make any money from this, and I hope that changes at some point. It is really fun to work on something that you find enjoyment and fulfillment out of. So instead of having to focus your life on finding your passion, you can just focus some of your free time by following this framework. Not sure if you guys can read this, but the first thing you have to do is write down your interests. You could be interested in making a movie, coding a video game, being an esports player, being an NBA player, building Legos. Any of this stuff can be an interest. So write it all down. Then after that, the next thing you have to do is explore them. My personal example here is that I was always really interested in video games, like every single dude on the planet. So I always thought, being a video game designer would be really cool. And then, I think it was during COVID, I could be wrong, but I think it was during COVID, I had a bunch of free time. So I was like, you know what, let me try to make a video game. Let's see if it's any fun. So I spent like 5 or 6 days learning how to code C#. I then spent a few more days downloading and learning how to use Unity, and then I tried making my first game. And I realized, wow, this is horrible. There is so much tediousness here. Like, yeah, it was really fun when I got to just copy someone's movement physics into my game. But then, when I tried my very first level after building it and realized that I was falling forever, I realized that I had to make a death plane. But then what I thought would take 30 seconds of just like drawing a rectangle and just saying, when you hit, die, it turned out to be like a 45-minute process. And then I continued working on the game for like probably 10 hours throughout the next couple days, and I had to come back to fix that death plane multiple times. It's just so much bug fixing. Like, come on, just let me make a game and let me make millions already. It's safe to say that coding a video game was not for me, but I'm glad that I did it, because I seriously think it would still be one of my goal careers to this day if I didn't have that time when I actually tried making a video game. And you might be saying that whatever job you're doing, you can't try. Like, how are you gonna try to be a lawyer from your house? And while it may be more difficult, I wouldn't say give up on it entirely, and instead try to message lawyers in your area and see if they'd be willing to like have you with them for a few hours one day to just see what it is like being a lawyer. Because I know from my personal stories that I hear from people around me, you're probably not going to be able to go to like an actual court case, but instead you can see the behind the scenes of like what a lawyer does in order to prepare his cases, to prepare his or her cases. My school actually does this, and it's one of the best things about my school is that in the month of February, they give you 1 to 2 weeks where you just get to explore whatever career you want to for that 2 weeks. They stop teaching school and you just get to explore something. So try to see if your school is gonna let you do this. You're probably not gonna find your passion the first time you explore an interest. So that's why this is always just a continual journey of you just exploring more and more things until you find a couple things that are pretty interesting to you and you wouldn't mind doing for a few decades. Speaking of school, how about you spend some of your time working on school, or your job for that matter? First, let's talk about schoolwork. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is see if any of your teachers will allow you to retake any of your assignments. Whether that be a big essay or be a big test, just see if any of them are gonna let you redo anything. Look for any assignments that are 10 percentage points below what you wanna get. Say you wanna get 85, but you got a 75, you gotta retake that test. Then, ask if you can do revisions. Basically, on the assignment, you messed up what you had to do, but you know what you have to do now. So then all you have to do is show your teacher that you know what to do now. And once you show him or her that work, you get half the points back that you lost. It's free, man. I mean, you already know what you have to do, just to put in a little bit of effort. This might be the highest ROI for getting higher grades in school. And as someone applying to colleges right now, the difference in experience I could have had if I had just put in a little more effort, got 1% higher better in every class, it would have changed my current GPA of 3.7 to a 4.0. And let me tell you, that's a big difference. Even if school is slandered continuously online, it's still a really good path towards making more money. And especially if you go into a career like engineering, you're gonna make good money, and probably better money than if you went towards the trade school path or the business path or the real estate path. School may not be your favorite, but it wasn't mine either, and I regret not spending an extra hour each week over my last 3 years for a total of like 160 hours or something, which is like 7 days over the course of 3 years. And with work, it's pretty simple. Pick up an extra shift. Do I gotta say anything else? I mean, I guess you could look for a better job too. You should always, I don't know, every like 2 weeks or so, go on Indeed and just see if there's some better jobs in the area that you can take. And the last thing you can do is don't overcomplicate it. There's nothing else for you to do. Spend time incorporating good habits, spend time following your interests to find your passion, and put more time working at school or your job. No more overthinking. If you just spend your social media time like that, you're gonna do good. And if you love these no BS videos, I've got plenty more coming, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to follow your interests, stop overthinking, also known as Think Better. I'll catch you over in my next video, right there.